Hi, my gems. Welcome or welcome back to the Growing Gardenias podcast. This is your safe and affirming space for us to heal together, grow together, and normalize the hard mental health things we don't like to talk about. I'm your host, Niara. Thank you for tuning in with me and joining me on this journey. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Thank you so much for being here with me today. It's 2023. It's a year of prosperity. It's a year of blessings. It's a year of reaping the benefits of all the transition periods a lot of us have experienced. It's a year of new beginnings. We are not doing the same things that held us back the year before. We're learning, we're growing, we're healing, and we're tapping more into the things that bring us joy and make our souls smile. So this episode is a welcome back to Growing Gardenias, a welcome into the new year, a reflection of some of the lessons that I've learned and will continue to uphold in this new year, and ways we can continue elevating in 2023 and beyond. So let's get into the gems. So full transparency, y'all know I've been on a major hiatus. It's been about 8 months since my last episode. To be quite honest, 2022 was a very trying year for me, to say the least. I felt like it was test after test after test, a test in my faith, a test in my resilience, a test in my strength. And I felt like I wasn't in the space to post because I felt like a hypocrite, honestly. Like, I felt like, how can I drop gems if my life is in shambles? But shout out to my tribe who reminded me of something that I say often, which is you are not alone, not in your struggles or your experiences. So if anyone listening or watching, because Growing Gardenias is on video now too, will be on YouTube and Anchor and Spotify. But that's something that's new. So you can put a face to the voice that you listen to. So yeah, that's a new little update. But whoever's listening that has had a difficult year, I want to hold space for you and let you know that you are so loved and you are so much stronger than what you may have felt. And speaking from experience, I too felt like life was going to take me out. But we made it to 2023 and we're here, and this is going to be an amazing year. So now the lessons that 2022 literally forced onto me that I will be taking into this next year with me. So the first one, choose yourself. Choose yourself. Like, no matter what that looks like, no matter who or what you have to let go, choose yourself. And I know y'all are probably like, duh, like everyone knows you have to choose yourself. But I mean, even in the times where you're uncertain and you don't know what's going to happen, you're scared, you don't want to, because that happens, right? We don't always want to choose ourselves, even though we know it's the right thing to do. You know, I've been there, but you have to. Take it from me, you have to. Like, things really start to align for you and fall into place when you make the difficult decisions, like choosing yourself. So let me give y'all some context. So y'all know I was in a PhD program for clinical psych, and you know the struggle that was its own struggle, right? And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, go listen to the Trusting the Transition episode, because that'll give you the backstory of everything, okay? So basically, I lived in one city, my school was in another city about an hour and a half away, none of which was my doing. I completed year one, and I get to second year, which is, you know, a couple months ago now. And now I have to be on campus like every day. And of course, my responsibilities have increased drastically. So on top of the commute, having to be on campus every day, and literally, if you go listen to Trusting the Transition, what I'm saying will make a lot of sense. So go listen to that first if you haven't already. But yeah, so on top of all of that stress, I was already starting to feel like my advisor and I weren't a good fit for various reasons. So I struggled a lot with if I should stay and suffer and be miserable and unhappy, or if I should walk away and walk into uncertainty. And I didn't know what it was going to look like. I still don't know actually what it's going to look like. I don't know what I'm going to have to do, but I have to trust that things will always work in my favor And that's what I had to do. So that's what I did. So I left my PhD program, which it's more common than people talk about, but it's really like people don't do it often because who leaves a PhD program? It's so hard to get into one. And that led me to kind of learning my next biggest lesson of 2022, which I'm still going to carry with me. And that is that it's okay to walk away. Like, and I feel like these are so like common, like everybody knows these, but when you're in the situation, you can say these things to yourself, but the real test is like, are you going to do it? Are you actually going to follow through? Are you actually going to show up for yourself? So I was terrified. I was literally terrified. Like, again, who drops out of a PhD program willingly, especially when they are so hard to get into? But I knew that I would not be able to thrive in the way that I knew I was capable if I stayed in this program struggling. So I listened to myself, and when I made the decision, I kid you not, I felt like a wave of relief just washed over me. Fear definitely, because I was like, oh shit, what am I going to do? But relief because I realized my spirit was no longer aligned with where I was in that moment. And I had to honor that, and I had to do something about it. So kind of proud of myself because I took that leap of faith and I listened to myself and I honored myself. So yeah, that's the first part of the context. So in the same tune of it's okay to walk away, I was also in an emotionally abusive relationship, and I didn't listen to myself until it was almost too late. And I'll share my story about that more when I'm able to. It's very recent, so the wounds are still a little fresh, but I felt a lot of shame and guilt because I thought to myself, well, just a few years ago, you know, you were toxic, you were insecure, you had all these issues before you started your healing journey. You were a completely different person. So would you have wanted people to give up on you and walk away? No. But I realized that that line of thinking wasn't fair to me because I was being hurt in the process. And I'll be honest, I did not want to walk away, but it literally took me being fearful that I was going to lose my life for it to really click. Like, hey, it's God here. You need to walk away before, God forbid, something worse happens. So all that to say, if you have or are dealing with someone or something and it is compromising who you are and your peace, then it's not for you and you need to walk away. And you need to be okay with walking away. And I know that that's a hard pill to swallow, but you have to listen and just acknowledge that, yes, you may not want to walk away, but sometimes you literally have to. It's necessary. And that's okay. So I'm not sure who needed to hear that or needs to hear that for this new year, but you are not and never will be a bad person for prioritizing yourself. Never. I promise. Never. Okay. So the third lesson is you can't fix people. Now, this is something that I know a lot of people can relate to. Like me personally, I have a bad habit of trying to like fix people or like overextend my healing spirit to theirs, if that made sense. But that's dead for this new year. That's dead. And moving forward, dead. And whoever's listening or watching this, that's dead for you too. That is not your job. When you have a healing spirit, you tend to attract people who need the healing. And sometimes that's at the cost of yourself. Like, of course you want to help. Of course you want to support them. Of course you want to be there. Of course you want to motivate, whatever the case is. You cannot do that at the cost of yourself. And that was my case. That was my hard pill to swallow. You can't do it at the expense of yourself because you're doing more harm than you are doing good. Like your intentions are good, but if you're hurting yourself in the process, it's not worth it. Like this goes for lovers, friends, family members, anyone. It is not your job to heal for people. And you're not a punching bag. Like in my case, I wanted to like extend a lot of grace. And I had to be reminded of this a lot. Like I do have a soft spot for people who are on their healing journeys. I do. And I like to extend a lot of grace because I know I needed that same grace when I began my healing journey, and I was a completely different person then. And I didn't always have that grace. So I go out of my way, I think, to kind of extend that grace. And that's okay. Like extending grace and being understanding, there's nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to you or that other person or those other people, this goes back to the first thing. You have to choose yourself. You cannot fix people. That is not your job. And extending grace also means, yes, you're kind. Yes, you're understanding, but that does not mean that you let people play in your face. No. Like, you are not responsible for fixing people. That is not your job. You can support people, of course, but you can't do the work for them. And that also goes for the people who don't want to do the work. You can't force people to start or begin their healing journeys. You can't. It is what it is. So that is not your responsibility to put onto yourself, no matter how much you see for them, the potential you see for them. No, don't fall for potential. And again, this goes for all sorts of relationships, friendships, whatever, not just romantic ones. Don't fall for potential. Potential, in my opinion, is the good in you. You're seeing that in the other person. But potential is not who they are presently, in the present moment. That's not who they are. You need to pay attention to what you're being shown and actions in the present moment. Potential is just potential. It doesn't mean anything, honestly. And if you're holding on to someone or something or whatever because of potential, you're literally holding on to nothing. Like, you're holding on to false hope, essentially. So that's I just wanted to throw that in there. Don't fall in love with potential. Don't hold on to potential. That means nothing. What you need to focus on is the present, what people are showing you, how they're showing up for you, their actions. That's what's important. So if you take anything from that, take that lesson specifically for potential. No, we're not doing that. Okay. So the last lesson that I learned as well is to listen to yourself the first time. And the reason that I'm kind of reflecting on 2022 is because a lot of the lessons that I learned in 2022, I feel like kind of hardwired into my brain, and I'm definitely also using it just ongoing in this new year and ongoing. So the last one, listen to yourself the first time. Like, how many of y'all can relate to this? Your intuition tells you what's up right away, but you choose to ignore it. You want to see the good in person. You want to see potential, or you're holding on to potential. Stop ignoring that feeling. That little feeling you get, stop ignoring that little feeling. That feeling that tells you, this may not be right, actually. That is your intuition. And trust me, I am queen. I'm not proud of this, but I am queen of ignoring my intuition sometimes because I want to see the good in people. I want to see the good and the best in situations. No. Listen to yourself the first time. That goes for any aspect of your life. If something doesn't feel right, it's not right. Like, honor yourself by trusting yourself the first time. I feel like if I would have done that, I would have saved myself a lot of pain, a lot of trauma, a lot of heartache. Now, granted, everything happens for a reason, but please stop ignoring yourself. Please, 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 please. That's something I'm definitely taking into the new year. I'm going to trust myself and listen to myself the first time. Once I get an inkling, hey, this may not be the best situation. Hey, this person may not be right for you. Friendships, whoever. That's it. I would rather be wrong, like after the fact, from listening and honoring myself, than be right about the feeling that I had that this wasn't a good situation. So yeah, listen to yourself the first time. So now that we talked about the lessons for 2022 and how they were forced onto me, but I am very grateful. I'm holding on to them for this new year and for the upcoming years. let's talk about how we're going to be our best selves in 2023. So, personally, and I'm going to say we because we are healing together, we're growing together. This is a community. This year, we are taking risks. We're betting on ourselves. Now, I'm going to say this, and whoever feels attacked, it's out of love. And if the shoe fits, yeah. So stop letting your shyness and your fear and your insecurity keep you out of spaces that were made for you. You are capable and you are deserving of everything you desire. So go get it. Like, I have such a bad habit of being like, oh, like, I'm not qualified, or I don't know how to do this, or I don't know if I'll be able to do this. It doesn't matter. Like, there are people sitting in positions who really are not qualified, but they have the confidence to go for it. Now, have that confidence. Like, the worst you can get is, hey, maybe it doesn't work out, but at least, you went for it. What if it does work out? Instead of like, what if it doesn't, or I'm scared. What if it does? It will. Not even what if, it will. I'm declaring that over your lives right now. Anything you want, anything you desire, go for it. It's going to work out. I promise you. We're also being mindful of power of tongue. People don't realize they literally speak blessings and curses over their lives with what they say. Speak blessings over your life. Be mindful even of how you joke about yourself. Like, I remember being younger, I used to be like, oh, I'm so stupid. No. When people do that now, I literally always correct them. Like, no, even jokingly, no. None of that. I'm so stupid. Jokingly, don't talk about yourself like that. Even in joking. How about, I'm so human when you make a mistake or you do something silly. I'm so human. You are human. You're going to make mistakes and that is okay, but we're not going to be talking about ourselves. So be mindful of what you speak over your life and speak positivity over your life. Speak blessings. Speak your desires. Manifest. That's literally what manifestation is. Your thoughts create your reality. What you speak into existence is what will be in existence, right? Okay. So we are also getting out of our own way and we're walking into that fear and uncertainty. How are we doing this? Literally just trusting and knowing that everything is going to work out just fine. I mean, use me as a testimony, use me as an example. I literally left school. Anyone who knows me knows that I have been a student for literally like 20 something years. I feel like my identity is tied to being a student, and that's something I am unpacking and I'm working on. But school is very important to me. Education is very important to me, and kind of hitting my goals, that's very important to me. So I left. I walked away because I said, I'm not going to be suffering. I'm not going to be treated in a way that I don't deserve to be treated. And things are working out. Things are going to work out. Always. And it's like, when you choose yourself, this is going kind of back to it, but just related to how we're walking into fear and uncertainty. Even walking into fear and uncertainty, everything literally is going to work out. Like, when God removes, he replaces. Okay. Let me say that again. When God removes, he replaces. You are going to be just fine. If something didn't work out, or if something didn't go your way, or whatever, it's for a reason. It's because you literally have something better. And I'm a testimony. I've lost people and situations, not being in school. Better things have been happening. Better things are still to come. You just have to trust. You have to trust. Trust in God, trust in the universe, trust. You're going to be fine. Walk into that fear and uncertainty. You're not alone. You're going to be fine. I promise you, you will be okay. Everything is going to work out in your favor because it always does. Okay. So this year, we're also tapping into community healing. I mentioned that earlier, and I'm going to go deeper into what that looks like, what that feels like, what that sounds like in a later episode. But we're using our support systems and leaning on people. Black women, especially, we're not doing this whole strong Black woman thing. We're superhero. No, no. We're leaning on our support systems. We're leaning on our loved ones. Like, honestly, if it wasn't for my family and my friends, I'm not sure where I would be. And I'm not being dramatic when I say that. Like, 2022 was very difficult. And I almost didn't feel like I was going to make it out, honestly, just being transparent. So if I didn't have my family, my parents, my friends, like, I don't know where I would be. So please utilize the love and support that's available to you. Don't feel guilty. Like, if your loved ones are offering, that means they have the capacity to support you. Take the support. It is okay. Okay? We are also reminding ourselves that what is for us will always be for us. What is for us will never pass us by. I feel like I say that in so many episodes, like what's for us will always be for us. Because it's the truth. Like, your story is already written. Everything that has happened and is going to happen is already written. It's already there, just waiting for you to encounter it. So you can take a breather knowing everything's going to work out for you. It's going to be great. It's going to be better than great. It's going to be even better than you could have imagined. Okay? So just keep that in your head. Like, it's going to work out. What's yours is yours. Nothing can take that away from you. And lastly, we are extending ourselves unlimited grace and compassion. Okay? Unlimited grace and compassion. Self-compassion, I feel like when we talk about healing, self-compassion is a big, big, big part of healing. You have to be compassionate for yourself. Because if you won't, who will? I mean, people will, but you really have to be compassionate for yourself, for your experiences, for what you've been through. It's okay. Give yourself that grace. You would give the grace for a friend, for a loved one, for whoever. Give it to yourself. And I'm speaking to myself as well, working on self-compassion and forgiving myself for the mistakes that I've made, for the decisions that I've made. Forgive yourself. It is okay. Okay. So that is all I have for you all. This is like a short kind of welcome back to Growing Gardenias. We're back this year. It's going to be great. I have some exciting things planned that I can't wait to share with you all. So before I go, I want to end this episode with some affirmations. Take what resonates with you. I'm going to say them. You can repeat after me. You can do whatever you feel called to do. Okay. So some affirmations also that I will be using myself. Let's go. So I am worthy because I exist. I am worthy because I exist. The love I seek is already within me, and I'm experiencing it each day. The love I seek is already within me, and I'm experiencing it each day. My body is my home, and I'm treating it with love and care. My body is my home, and I'm treating it with love and care. I no longer tolerate people or things that do not align with my higher self. I no longer tolerate people or things that do not align with my higher self. I'm still growing and still learning. I am still growing and still learning. I am allowing myself the room to make mistakes and start over as many times as I need to. I am allowing myself the room to make mistakes and start over as many times as I need to. I allow myself to live freely. I allow myself to live freely. I welcome peace, blessings, and happiness into my space. I welcome peace, blessings and happiness into my space. Okay. So thank you all so much for tuning in with me, whether it's listening or now watching, because that's an option now. Yay. I'm sending you so much love and blessings, and I will talk to y'all next week.